Yo, the wildest thing just happened, yo. I'm a one-take type of cat when I sit up here and I speak. And I did this whole long video. And I turned this camera around and I played a video to watch it. And this joint has my mirror I had it rotated around thinking that it was pointing just like it's pointing right here. Had my mirror in the background, had a toilet tissue paper and a paper towel in front of there. All in my view. The mirror was kind of cloudy and stuff, and I'm like, wow, and it was such a great message that I was given. So now I got to do the whole thing all over again. So we gonna talk about, oh my gosh, yo, that's crazy, yo. We gonna talk about fairness, man. Fairness is what I was getting at. I was getting at fairness in life. We have this thing where we look at other people and we look at them, and a lot of times we're envious of what their situations are because we're not there. Because we don't have access to some of the things that folks have. We're looking for those opportunities. Those things are valid. It's valid. You look at the stuff and you're like, man, why is this cat living this life and I'm sitting here living whatever life I'm living? Again, fairness. It's just something that you have to embrace. That life's not fair. But I'm here to tell you the other side of that, of the fairness perspective, or what you should be looking at. Sometimes you got to look at these situations that you're trying to get opportunities at, or you envious about how somebody else's life is. You got to look at those situations and understand that sometimes those things are not built for you. It's not made for you to have that opportunity. It's not made for you to live that lifestyle. Case in point, back home in New York, when I was in high school, there was a cat named Mark, a little short cat. This cat wore the dopest gear ever. The dopest gear ever. The dopest jackets, the dopest pants, the dopest shoes, all of that. He wore all of these different things and he was interchanging them all the time. You know, I say interchanging them. He was just coming up with new gear every day. He had like this new gear every day. And everybody was like, this cat, you know, he's living that life. He got the young ladies looking at him. He's a short dude. He got his shoes, and you know, normally if you're a cat with longer feet and stuff like that, your shoes don't fit right within your pants. You can't gear them up right. So with this cat being short, he had the little small little women's feet, so he could put his pants over his shoes, and it made it look right. This cat, like I said, everybody was looking at this cat like, this cat's the one. He's definitely one of these boys who you looking to be like, man, you know what? It would be nice to trade places, because he just was, like I said, wearing different clothes every day, wearing different shoes every day. But what I don't want to say most people didn't know, a lot of people kind of knew, but what you started to find out was that this cat was on the block. He was doing certain things to go sell his drugs, right? And so you're looking at that and you think about, oh, would I trade places now with this man? Because this cat was always paranoid. This cat always had to watch his back. He didn't know where anybody was coming from. He didn't know if somebody was going to come get him at school, or when he left school, or when he was at home. So yeah, he's living this life, and yeah, he's got all of the gear and all that other stuff. And he's got all the young ladies coming around him. But he's living this life where he don't know whether or not he's going to be there later on tonight, or if he's going to make it the next morning. I know plenty of cats who are not here no more. And so to trade places with that, Yeah, you think you may want to do that, but that's not a life that a lot of folks can engage with. A lot of folks are not ready for that type of life, man. That life is serious business. And it's so much stress that comes along with it. It's so much of where you have no comfort, no security. But again, everybody who looked at him, they thought that that's the type of life that I want to live. Nah. Part of what folks don't realize is if you have a belief system, whatever your belief system is, whether you believe in Jesus, you believe in the Almighty, you believe in Muhammad, you believe in Buddha, or you're an atheist, you just don't believe in God or whatever. Whatever it is that you have a belief system with, or you believe in cause and effect. Maybe that's what atheists believe in. You believe in cause and effect. That belief system, believe it or not, or believe in the universe, that belief system, you believe it or not, it protects you from making certain decisions or going into certain types of positions where you're not built for it, you're not ready for it. You're not in any type of frame of mind to be ready for it. You're not physically ready for it. You get protected. And the more you live on this earth, the longer you'll find out that if you believe in something, you'll start to realize that the reason why certain things don't happen is because you're being protected. Some people force through it. They're like, you know what? No, I don't care. I got all these roadblocks, but I'm gonna keep on pushing through. A lot of times what happens to you when you keep on pushing through, be careful what you ask for. Because sometimes it takes you down a whole different path, and it's a path that you didn't want to go on, and all of a sudden you have a whole bunch of other issues, and you wind up regretting it. So get in tune with your belief system, because there's a reason why that belief system is there to be able to help you and guide you through your life. So when you look at certain things and you wondering why you're not in that position, sometimes it's just as simple as you're just not ready. It's not meant for you to be in that position. You've got to figure out something else to do, or you got to let it come to you. Case in point number 2. We talk about Diddy. Y'all cats know him as Diddy. We know him as Puff, back home in New York. I remember when Puff was coming out. Puff used to do a lot of parties. He was like promoting parties and stuff like that. That's how you heard Puff. And Puff was a grinder. He got out there and did what he was doing with his parties. And then Puff started getting into signing acts and coming up with his record label and all other stuff. And I remember him distinctively at Jack the Rapper. That's what it's called, Jack the Rapper. If you look it up, you may be able to see him at Jack the Rapper. And this man was going around passing out little flyers and pamphlets of talking about the artists that he was getting ready to bring. Big, Mary J. Blige, and some of these other folks. He was, doing guerrilla marketing. Guerrilla marketing is what I was talking about with canvassing. When you go out there and you hustle, you are walking around and you're giving out pamphlets, you're giving out flyers, you're talking to people. And this cat looked like a cornball out there because nobody really knew him like that. He's at Jack the Rapper. He's trying to tell people that he's getting ready to come with his whole entourage of artists and stuff like that. Right? Fast forward. This man breaks through, gets his artists out there. This cat is a mega superstar, mega producer. He's got all the young ladies that you would want to try to have. He's got all the money, all the cars, all the homes, living the life, crazy power and all this other stuff. He's done this for decades, right? Done it for decades. But now we look at the situation today and we look at where this man is at today, right? And a lot of us, back when we were coming up, we used to look at this man and be like, man, you know what? That would be dope to be dancing with everybody and producing songs or, out there rapping with, these artists and having your TV shows and stuff like that, all that stuff looked good. But now when you hear the backstory, when you hear all the different things, if all of this stuff is true, we know the video was true as far as what he was doing there, but if all the other stuff is true, we hear all of this stuff. And when you think about it now, when you thought about wanting to be like this man, you look at it now, this cat was living a terrible life. Yeah, he had a whole bunch of other opportunities and a lot of things that we never will experience. But he was living a terrible life. A life where he was hurting folks. Again, if all this stuff is true, he was hurting people. And if you have a belief system and if you morally and you have values and have a conscience, you wouldn't want to be trading spots with that. And maybe you think you would. And you think that maybe the type of person that you are, you would never fall victim to that stuff. Nah, that's the reason why you have the protection. Because you can't say that just because you were in the position that you're in today and how you live today, that you wouldn't do the same things that that man did. Fame is a hell of a drug. That money, that temptation, that being in prime time makes you do a whole bunch of different things. And then it makes you protect your territory. So then you got to do other things to make sure that you keep that position. Other things that are down and dirty that you don't think that you should have to do, but it comes with the territory. So the thing is that think twice about when you look at everybody and you say that things are not fair and why are these other people getting these opportunities and how they're living and what they're doing. Sometimes there's things that you don't know about that you wouldn't want to trade with those particular people. And sometimes it's best for you to be sitting back and try to create your own lane. Focus on that. Because maybe your lane is not maybe, your lane is better for you. It's equipped for you versus that other person's lane. That other person's lane is made for them. It ain't made for you. Because if it was, then you would be in that lane. You got your own lane. So you've got to figure out what you got to do to explore that, to get yourself together as it relates to what you tend to be, having your interest in, what you tend to have skills in, what, hobbies that you have. Live that boring life. Ain't nothing wrong with living that boring life. If you get the opportunity to excel or advance and get to where all of a sudden your life is, a lot different, where it's a lot more action-based, you're in the limelight and stuff like that, hey, good. It came to you. But sometimes you got to sit back and let that happen. Sometimes you got to sit back and say, you know what? Let me make sure I think about what it is that I'm trying to get into, because there's a lot of different things you have to be aware of and that you need to be paying attention to if you want to move into this life of what you envy. Like I said before, be careful what you wish for, because you may get exactly what you're looking for and then you wind up regretting. So understand, life's not fair, but your life has a different path, and you gotta find that path. Don't get so caught up with all the stuff that's going on around you. It's a lot of distractions and things like that. You gotta focus on you. You gotta get yourself together. You gotta figure out what is it that you gotta do to move and make your inroad. What's your inroad gonna be? Like my mom always told me on TV, when I used to watch TV, she'd be like, why you sitting up here wasting all your time watching them? They already got theirs. You ain't got yours. So if you're sitting there doing the same exact thing, scrolling on your phone, looking at social media and all this other stuff, and looking at all these other people of how they're living, they got theirs. You got to get yours. See what I'm saying? So, just a little message in regards to fairness in life, and why things don't happen the way that we want it to happen. Get in tune with yourself, get in tune with your belief system. Understand that that belief system will protect you and it will guide you and navigate you through your life. You'll learn that the older that you get in life, you'll understand that more. But don't be envious of other folks. I'm not going to say that it's not a challenge not to do that. Because, hey, we all human and we all watching these folks. And yeah, we're going to be envious of what we see because we don't have that. It's a lack in us. It's something that we don't actually have. But then you know what? When you think about it, you may have things that this other person doesn't have. You may have people that love you. This other person don't have people that love them like that. This person has people who are using them. They want their money. They want their fame, their clout. They want all of that. They don't love these people. But you got genuine people that if something happens to you and you get injured or hurt or whatever, these folks at your bedside, they're going to take care of you. They're going to check up on you. These other people don't have that stuff. So I'm just saying, don't get so caught up with the life it ain't fair type of thing. You may have things that you don't realize that are way more significant than what that other person that you're envying. And that other person may want what you want, what you have. And ain't that something? The irony of that. That person may want what you have, and you want what they have. Like I said, we're going to get this together. We're going to get the men together. Y'all cats got to understand that you got a lot more to offer, man. There's a world out here, man. And it gets constricted by what it is that you're watching. But there's so much else past that little, 4 inches, 6 inches of what's on your phone or whatever. There's so much more beyond that. And that's what you got to be able to start looking into and understand that you get to the world perspective, your life would be 10 times, 100 times better than what it is right now. Start building on that mind. Start building on that experience. Start seeing life and seeing what really is out there to give you, what is there to offer you, really. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next level, like I always say. Y'all be good. Peace out.